creators of Aerial Exchange. I'm Colleen.
I'm Amber. And I wanted to ask you how you came up with this idea of the sequencing cards.
Well, my initial thing was, you take so many classes and you rehearse with people and you have private lessons and you learn so many moves, and then you get in the space to practice on your own or come up with choreography or something like that, and your brain goes blank. You can't remember a single move that you ever learned or how to do it or anything. And so it would just be great to have a resource. You have all of your moves in a nice little package, and then when you're in your space, you can look through it and just have like a clean little catalog of ideas to run through. But what about you? What was your...
It was a similar thing. So I was going to open gym and I was kind of feeling stuck, and I felt like I was getting very repetitive with myself. I'd start with the same climb over and over again. I'd try and kind of venture out from there. And I just then had this idea to write a whole bunch of things that I had learned from the past, from, festivals that I'd gone to or workshops or something. I just kind of went back through my notes and I compiled everything together, wrote them all on little tiny slips of paper, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I would just pull like 3 or 4 of them and challenge myself to create these moves or create a sequence based off of what I had put together. Different sequences had different challenges. There'd be some where I would try and I'd pull them out in a certain order, and I would make myself do a sequence that was in that order that I pulled them out from. Or other times I'd be more lenient with myself and I'd be like, you can mix it up, like you can do it however you want to go. And it kind of like sparked this whole other world of creativity and rap theory and just a better understanding of everything. So It was really, really great.
Yeah. I think too often we fall on the easy solutions and we don't challenge our brains. So I'm hoping for this deck of cards that when people are using it, that they're really excited to kind of mix and match. Like you don't have to, you start with a climb obviously, but once you're up there, you can descend and then reclimb. And it doesn't have to be like a climb, a pose, a drop. There's no specific order it has to be in.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that these foster that kind of invention and creativity.
I came from a world where when I started learning skills, when I started taking classes, the majority of the places that I taught or that I took classes from, that I was taught things, it was, here's this skill, go up in the air, practice this skill, come back down. Okay, let's do this other skill, go up, come back down. And there really wasn't so much of this emphasis on linking things. It really was just this whole thing of just like a hard reset each time.
Learn a move, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's another kind of thing that was fun with the challenges, or at least the things that I did with myself from the, bag of tricks, the bag of cards, was a way to find the links, and I call it without dumping the tail. So like without going back to your basic stand or something, like without dumping all the wraps that you have, but find something from where you land. Like if you come out of, a double star and the wrap that you land in, where then can you go from there without like going to basic stand and then going into something else?
When you're fluent in a language, you like just start like piecing things together. And I think that's kind of what happens with silks. When you're fluent and you can just find like, oh, this drop landed me in the perfect position to go into this pose.
Right.
And the other thing that we kind of added in as we started working together on it, because I think I actually saw your post about the index cards and I was like, she's already like doing this for herself, so why don't we create this for the whole community and share it with everybody? But so the other thing that we kind of decided to add in was these concept of movement cards.
Yes.
And I think that's so important too, because as aerialists, I think so often we get so trapped in the technical perfection of a move.
Right.
And we forget to tell a story and create a mood and, surprise your audience with things. We forget that we're dancers.
Right.
We're artists, and it doesn't have to be so perfect as long as you're expressing the mood or the feeling that you want.
Yeah. And I think there's different camps in that. So it's like for me, I've gone through different phases of thinking in terms of that, where I'm like, at first, I'm a very technical person. So I do it in layers. I'll learn the moves and then get it to the point where I'm comfortable enough of like, okay, where can I then extend? Where can I then change some things up? And then I add in the character. Whereas I think other people, they're adding in the story and the performance from the very second of learning something. I think, for whatever camp you're in, I think that this is a nice little addition to get you thinking, again, in a different way with a different prompt that you may not have thought of previously on your own. So, or if also you're from an atmosphere, you're from a studio where there's more emphasis on the technical side and less on the act development side. You know, there's so many aerial studios all over the place. There's so many like great places to train, which is awesome. Every place has their different style. So we're just kind of hoping to supplement that live training in a way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hopefully this just sparks excitement and innovation and invention, and that's really what we want these to do for people.
More inspiration.
And also for ourselves, because I'm going to use these.
Right. I mean, I still use them. I still do it too, because I still have that brain where I'm very just
I know this move, I'm going to do this move.
Yes. So it's like I need to go up with a plan, and sometimes if I'm left to my own devices, I will just do the same plan every time.
Yeah.
So I need to have that prompt of like, okay, I need to do something different. So I need to kind of leave it up to chance. It's great. It's fun.
So hopefully you guys enjoy this and get good use out of this, and we welcome your feedback. If there's cards you want to see in the future decks, like, please let us know. We're totally down to
let us know your favorites.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's kind of like learning a language. Like when you finally become, you know a language.
Proficient.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm like, what's the word?
You're fluent.
I'm not
when you're
fluent.
fluent.
Yeah, I'm not fluent in English, but that's another story.